podcast number 2 with the replacement, Powell. Donnie had to just kidding. You were our first choice. Don was second choice.
I understand.
Shout out to Millions for putting this thing together and supporting us. And excited to keep this going. Number 2 with Powell. What's
Let's
up?
call it the Powellcast today.
The Powellcast.
Catchy name.
Instead of Niagara Top Team. That's what we went with, right?
Yeah.
Niagara Top Team, the official podcast.
That's a good name. I like the logo too, you know?
We had a vote, and it was pretty much everybody against D-Marks.
Yeah.
The two names were Niagara Top Team and Talk Team Talks.
Nice.
But I couldn't say it, so that's why we went with
It's complicated to say. It's like a...
Yeah, tongue twister.
Yeah, tongue twister.
But it's also a conversation piece.
Yeah.
That was like Parabellum. I love that name. Took me like a year to properly understand, like to be able to say it, but then once you get it,
Yeah, but no one knows what it means.
No,
Exactly.
it's something to do with fuck, I don't even know. It was like some Greek.
Some balance.
If you want, yeah.
True.
But that was like the smaller part, but there was like a big, yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool name though. Like there's a sense of mystery to it. So, like people are like, oh,
It's
what's
definitely
this mean?
original. It's
Yeah.
way more original than Niagara Top Team.
Yeah, it's like straight to the point. But like, people kind of know what we do here. Cause,
Yeah.
Like Niagara Top Team, what's that? MMA.
Yeah.
But then people ask like Parabellum, what's that? And then you tell them like if you want peace, prepare for war. And then like
Yeah.
there's this sense of mystery. And it
Yeah,
kinda,
there is. It's definitely way more thought out than ours.
yeah.
We just ripped off another gym, and now we go fight those guys on a regular basis. I wonder if they've ever thought that, like, these guys are a fucking rip off of our gym,
Yeah,
and
like,
we're fighting against them now.
yeah, like American Top Team.
Yeah.
Like, fighting them all the time now. But
We didn't put, I mean, we obviously put some thought into it, but it kind of was like, I didn't think that we were going to be in the same locker room with American Top Team and being like, oh, we're literally we took your name and just put our region in front of it.
I mean, I feel like at some point we're gonna be just good enough to call ourselves Canada Top Team,
Yeah, that's my mom's
Canadian Top Team.
Powell, how was the fights on the weekend?
It was great, man. Like just watching Donnie do his thing was
Yeah.
amazing. It's inspiring too. Like seeing him, like he's been through it all, man. He's an
Yeah.
example for anyone getting in this sport. So like,
Yeah.
people ask me like, who should I look up to? Like, who should I
Yeah.
look into if I want to make it in the sport? Like Donnie's a perfect example.
Mhm.
He's been through it all. He's been to the ups and downs. He went to
Mhm.
Contender Series twice. He's fought killers both time and came out on like the losing end. And look at him now, man. Like
Mhm.
maybe a title shot in the near
Good
future
chance.
for him.
Good chance, title shot. Like the
That's
way
huge.
it depends on how it all plays out, but I think there's a really good shot. that
Life
he's-
changing.
Seriously.
Yeah, and like arguably the most successful Canadian right now. If
Mm-hmm.
unless you're some casual that's like, oh, UFC, Bellator, not in the same
Mhm.
league. Like
No, 100%.
I could see Donnie go out there in UFC and be in the top 15. So
Mhm. It's so crazy to be there for, like, again, the highs to highs and lows to lows, but like just thinking back to not that long ago, coming off that last loss, like, fuck, man, that was just heartbreaking, and just like one of those situations where you think we did everything right. Like there was, you know what I mean? Like if you had asked me that day, is there anything you would change? I'm like, to the best of my knowledge, that was a perfect camp, game plan. He was executing at practice, and then sometimes it doesn't go your way. That's the sick part about this sport. But you turned it all around. One fight. Everybody has a short memory. Like as soon as you get back in there, you every single fight you have a chance to rewrite your whole career, and he did that.
Exactly. You're only as good as your last fight, and
Yeah.
he just went out there and just how good he is now. It's
Yeah.
like, and like we felt it, like his just the way he went in there.
Mhm.
Like I wasn't there for the Salter fight, but I kind of like heard like how he was going through things and
Mhm.
like not overlooking him, but like pretty
Yeah.
felt pretty good about the fight, right?
Yeah.
And like telling, like he's gonna be on here tell his own story, but like you could feel like the nervousness for this one
Yeah.
and like the energy and really wanted to go out there and like hurt this guy.
Mhm.
I don't think he wanted to go out there and hurt Salter.
100%.
He wanted to hurt this guy, and he did,
Yeah.
and he broke him.
And it's at this level, it's like such a fine line between winning and losing. Like the way things can go bad so quickly, that having that edge that he had going into this fight, I think that was all the difference. And it's like you learn from your practices. That's what we do every day, is try to figure things out and refine things. But sometimes you learn the hard way in an actual fight situation, and that was one of those situations. I mean, 9 times out of 10, does it go that way? I honestly don't think so. But that day it went that way, and he made the adjustments, and fuck, man, did he ever look good?
Similar type of fight too, like very similar.
Yeah,
style
very
fight.
similar style.
It just proved that like what happened last time, fluke, turn it around,
Mm-hmm.
destroy a guy who's younger, bigger, stronger.
Yeah.
Same game plan.
Yeah, man. Like, there's no question of how good he is now. Like, everyone's like, cause like I'm in like some MMA groups that talk about fights and stuff, like some betting groups and stuff.
Well, like a Reddit group or something.
Like Reddit, Discord, all that, and they're like, oh, like I'm not betting on AJ. Well, they call him Jeffrey. I'm not betting on Jeffrey until he shows he can stop a takedown or some shit. I'm like, bro, like, he's been stopping takedowns forever, man. Like, you're gonna judge one fight, like, come on.
Big time. No, it was a great night.
Yeah.
And what about you? What's next, buddy? Tell the fans.
Shit.
Had a bit of a layoff.
Yeah, a bit of a layoff, but like I got too comfortable, man. Like I just decided to. I was like on the fence about chasing my dreams or just living a comfortable life, and in hindsight, I regret even being on that fence because I'm back in here for the past 3 months just grinding. I feel like I'm doing the right work, and then just seeing Donnie go through that, and then
Motivating.
It's motivating, but then people tell me like, if you do the same work, like you'll be there too one day, and that's just motivating. Like the way I performed my last few fights, like sure I won, but I didn't feel like I had what it takes to be a high level fighter. And then like you and other people talked into me that like you just can't base it off of that. Like someday stuff will click, and I don't think it's clicked for me yet, but I think someday it will.
Talk about one thing. I was talking to Josh Hill, so he I don't know if he checked a calf kick or just took one, but like he had this like hematoma starting to build in his shin, and I was telling him after your last fight, like I mean really that was a serious injury that I didn't know anything about. Like it was like it was just like a welt on his shin, and then you kind of left it and you like massaged it or whatever, but it didn't go away. What was that called? It had a name. And it was like the muscle separated.
Compound something.
Yeah.
Compound. I forget the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
calf kicks are nasty. Jeez.
Yeah, I just over committed on one and checked it with like weak part of my leg and went to the doctor, like just the general doctor. They're so shitty, man.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
Yeah.
But like I went to the general doctor. It's like, oh no, there's nothing, just a bone bruise. I'm like, oh okay, just a bone bruise. That's fine. And then just like I still took care of it for a month.
Months. You came back after a month and you were still like.
I came back trying to get into camp to fight at that Unified in December and couldn't even stand on my feet. Like it was just so bad. So then you were like, don't take the fight. Like, well, go see a specialist before you decide what you're gonna do, right? So I went to see a specialist, and basically like there was like some fractures in there, and then like some calcium buildup and stuff. So like the doctor was a shit at the general hospital.
I mean, like how many times do you have someone come in with that sort of injury, like maybe from a car accident or something, but like to take that sort of, and I remember distinctly in the fight, man, it was, you were like, you took it, I think you took like 1 or 2 leg kicks, and then me and D-Marks are like, check those, no free kicks, and then you checked it. Yeah. And it was the checked one that ended up fucking your leg up.
Yeah, the check was worse than taking them.
Like, seriously.
But like, man, those add up, man. Like, people didn't calf kick a few years ago, and now people are just doing it.
It's like an MMA thing now, because I don't think it's as popular in like kickboxing or Muay Thai. Yeah. You don't see guys like consistently going to the calf kicks, but it's just become this thing that's like.
But I think like it's not a thing because like when you think of it, combat goes back to so far, and you wouldn't just fight one guy on one night. You'd fight multiple people, like how combat used to work. So you're hurting yourself to hurt your opponent, which makes no sense in the long run.
No, definitely not a thing you want to do if you're taking multiple fights in a night.
Exactly. Or like if you're like a gladiator fighting in the stadiums, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like I'll break my leg trying to hurt you. But like that doesn't work. Yeah. So like people do it in fights now, and they'll just limp for a week and they won. They're happy.
And you see, like, even to go back to Don's fight, for the viewers, Don is AJ. Yeah. Aaron. Forget that his name's not Don. But you go back to his fight, and right off the bat, that was like the game plan. That was, Lyndon had him working calf kicks in the back, and he goes out there and he lands a few, and that was what I feel like what ultimately started the downhill spiral of Rasta taking some shots from the outside and getting a little bit more desperate. You could just kind of see the fight changing throughout the first round. Even in the corner, we were, pretty sure that the first round could have went either way. But anytime it's like a coin toss, we always assume we lost that round. So coming into the corner, we figured it might have been, we might be down a round, but you could just feel the whole fight changing. You felt that like it was changing. And going into that second round, man, we were like fired up. And at that point, like, it's always technical. Technique is number one. But at that point, it was more just like keep that pace, keep that pressure, still be safe, but like start, increasing the pace and start putting it on this guy. And man, it played out beautifully. He's done it before, and now it's almost becoming like his trademark, that Donnie pressure. Like that's it. Like he said, I love the post fight. It was like talking about fighting at a pace. He's like, well, this is my pace. I set the pace. My pace is clinch, knees, elbows, wrestling. Like he does it all. He mixes it all up. And again, from a guy that came from like no specific background, like a lot of these guys, like Rasta, came from like a wrestling background. So he competed his whole life in wrestling, and he started boxing. So he's got like a specialty. Where Don really has started at MMA, and now that's, I guess, everyone says that's like the new breed, but yeah, he can do it all.
Yeah, like, and if you let him set that pace on you, you're fucked.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a long night, and
literally,
that's what we saw. And like like props to Rasta for like, yes, he was breaking, but he had the way outs, and he was kind of looking for them, but he didn't always take them. Like he was still fighting.
Oh,
yeah.
And he'll be back. Like you never know after a fight like that. He didn't just lose, but he got beat bad. But he seems like the type of guy, and he's at a good gym and everything. He'll be back. I wouldn't be surprised if they fight again one day.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's still young. He'll be back. He'll be back, and I'm sure back in the win column soon.
Yeah, like he's in a good gym. He's got good surroundings, and like I saw his post, and I saw what Mike Brown said about him, and he talks about like how hard he works in the gym and stuff, and like Mike Brown saying that about you, like that's good. Like he doesn't sugarcoat things for what I've seen. So yeah, I'm sure he'll be back and doing well. Like Don's beat Petrosky before in a similar way, except he actually finished Petrosky and broke him like after 8 minutes of like just letting him wrestle. He just fucking broke him after that. Rasta broke him for a long time, but he'll figure it out. Like
it's exciting to think the potential title fight and what he'll look like in 5 rounds, because he's done 5-round fights before, but I just feel like he's an evolved version of what he was back in the CFFC days. So we'll see what it looks like in 5 rounds of Don with that pace, because we see him in the gym all the time. We do 5-round sparring often, like 4 or 5-round sparring, and it'll be cool.
In my opinion, he's a 5-round fighter.
Yeah,
like, he's got what it takes to do 5 rounds. Like I wouldn't. Yeah. Like I'd be worried taking a 5-round fight the way my gas tank works, but the way his works, it's like I'm starting practice with him, and like 40 minutes in, like I'm catching my breath, and he's just getting started.
And you guys are working during drilling too.
Yeah,
it's a different pace.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's pretty different.
Him and Jazz, they both have that like second set of lungs or something. Like they both can keep a pace and keep going. And then we talk about like the difference between like a fast twitch muscle fiber guy versus like a long distance, and they both got that long distance capability. So yeah, a lot of times those type of people start a little bit slower. So it'll be interesting to see Jazz with this girl, Tracy Cortez. That'll be, what are they, like 4 weeks out, 4.5 weeks out now? Yeah.
32 days or something like that, 31 days.
So again, talking about motivation, like we always say discipline over motivation, but goddamn, that was motivating.
Yeah, I could see a similar fight for Jazz, like breaking this girl too, because she's been out for a while, I believe, and like
kind of same situation, like, right? More of a wrestling background, Cortez and Rasta. Yeah, and then also like a little bit longer of a layoff. So you
good at being the hammer, bad at being the nail kind of situation too.
Same idea. Yeah, she's slick, but I think it could be a similar fight. I would love to see a similar fight.
Yeah. She's been off for a long time.
Cortez, it's been over a year, right?
May 7th was her last one, 22.
Yeah.
No way. I think that's when my last one was.
May 2022?
May 7th, 2022.
Meant to be.
Damn. It's a sign.
It's a sign, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Did you guys watch Paul Diaz?
Yeah, I did. I love the. I can't lie. I love those fights.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, I love those fights.
They need to come to MMA, man. Get some money in our game.
He wants to.
Yeah, they should do it.
Paul Diaz. Is this gonna happen?
Probably. We're due, man. We gotta get one on the board.
Yeah, it's
Aspirin,
been a long
Woodley,
time.
Diaz,
Yeah.
they all lost.
But when was the last time we had like one of these celebrity type MMA fights? Right? They do the boxing.
Never.
Who was the guy that joined the UFC? That was like the WWF.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
That was the last time where someone did like a high, to my knowledge, the last time someone did like an elite level fight in MMA, but was not an elite level fighter. So this could be it.
That's good.
Diaz, Paul.
Yeah.
Diaz still, like, I mean, what is he, 37 or something? But,
He's old.
I mean, his fight with Leon, like, he's right there with the top of them.
Not really.
Yeah, he had a good fight with Leon Edwards, didn't he?
Just one punch.
He
Was it? Oh,
threw
okay.
one punch. He had a good highlight from the
Oh,
fight.
okay, I just remember that punch. I thought it was a good fight.
Everyone does.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It'll make you remember, though.
Yeah. No, he sucks. He's fucking good.
I
I honestly, I could see Paul beating him.
Yeah, I could.
Jake
Like,
Paul.
Yeah, Diaz fucks around too much.
Yeah.
He's like he beat Connor and stuff,
Mhm.
and he's had good fights.
That was
but,
kind of like the height of it, though, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Then he fought Masvidal, and then now he's just kind of like the celebrity
Yeah.
MMA fighter.
I'm happy
I
for
hope he
him though.
doesn't
Like,
see this.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I hope he does see it because I'm happy he's making money, man. I think
Yeah.
made 10 mil for that boxing fight. That's more than he made his whole MMA career.
Is that what it was? 10 million.
Yeah. That's life changing
This
money,
is
man.
becoming the new norm, though. Again, like,
Yeah.
I'm always on Conor McGregor's dick, but like he was the one who paved the way for this stuff with the Floyd Mayweather fight,
Yeah.
and now it's like a regular thing. Guys are jumping over and getting into the boxing world, and the boxers are wanting some of the MMA action.
Well, there's money to be made, man. Like, look at Dana White. He's got billions of dollars, and the fighters don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, only a select few do. Like, a lot of guys are bringing in money.
Yeah,
They should get paid.
yeah.
Like, good for
See, I
Conor.
always have like mixed feelings about that because, like, for Jazz, where she is in her career and you know how long she's been at it, I feel like they take care of her really, really well, especially with this new contracts. But
Yeah.
and just all the other stuff with like, you know, taking care of her medicals and taking care of like, she had some like shoulder issue and had to get some like PRP. No issues. They covered all that. You know, they set her up with to do some like meet and greet and paid her out for that. So in my experience, they've been really good. But
Yeah.
we'll see when she starts, as she continues to build, if they become chintzy with that. But she's in a good spot right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like my opinion could just looking at, like, sure, she's doing, like, good and stuff, because, like, you're going from, like, thousands of dollars to, like, 5-6 digits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at other sports, man.
Yeah,
Look at hockey, baseball.
for sure.
Like,
It's-
these guys are making bank.
yeah.
It's like there's guys on the practice team in the NFL, like, they don't play a game in their life, and they make more than UFC champions. Yeah. But, like, I also think it's your own job to go out there and make money.
Yeah.
Like Sean O'Malley.
Well, like again, what we're trying to do here with you know, self-promoting and all that, and trying to build your own brand, not
Yeah.
just depending on like other people to do it. So absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're finding, like, because, like, the other sports, like, you have a game, like yes, hockey is like 82 games a season, NBA same thing, baseball's like 160, football is like 20.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you're regular, like, in competition regular, so, like, you're bringing in ticket sales and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's easy to get that kind of money.
Yeah.
But MMA,
It's
you're
just the
fighting
nature of our
2-3
sport.
times.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
just the nature of the sport. You check a leg kick and you're out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
The ultimate meritocracy.
It's a wild game.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom, for telling me that I was never gonna play in Major League Baseball. That was my first dream, was to be like to play for the Blue Jays, and I was like a kid.
Yeah.
And I thought like you just keep playing, and then you know like I'm at this age category, and then I get to here, and then I'm playing for the Jays. That was like I was gonna be a first baseman, and my mom's like, Chris, that's not how it works. Like you don't just keep playing. Like there's a lot more to it, and she kind of like crushed that dream.
To
I'm
be
just
fair,
kidding,
she
Mom, you
might-
didn't crush my dream. I'm glad you did it.
She might be right, though, because there's probably,
well,
like,
she is,
7
like-
Canadians in the
Yeah,
in the
like-
baseball that made it. So,
Yeah,
like,
I just imagine like if you put the same effort, like if we put the same effort, a lot of the people on the mats today If you're putting that sort of effort and energy into a sport, and you put that into any sport, I think a lot of people could be successful at the highest level in other sports.
I don't think so.
No?
I think.
Is it that much more competitive? Is that what you're saying?
I think size plays a factor, man.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's right.
anyone, like, bro, I was too
But
small to play
baseball,
hockey.
you don't got to be huge to be baseball.
No, you do.
Yeah?
A lot of guys, like, you got to be
You can't be 5'4".
an exception to be like 5'9", 5'10".
Really? Even like outfielders?
Yeah.
I guess you can't
There's
be
some
small.
shorter
Like, you're not going to
guys.
be hitting home runs if
No.
you're fucking weighing 140
Oh,
pounds.
that's it.
Yeah.
There's some shorter guys. There's exceptions,
Yeah.
but like, man, like if you're under 6 feet and like just don't have the frame, you're not gonna make it in a lot
Yeah,
of sports. Like
that's
I was
true.
too short to make it in hockey.
Yeah.
Like if I kept playing, maybe I'd be playing somewhere in like Europe or something. And
But to like make it at the highest level, you're an anomaly if you're not
exactly
a monster.
Yeah. Like you gotta be like 6 feet minimum,
Mhm.
and then there's basketball where like
Mhm.
you bring that stat up to me all the time. What is it?
Basketball?
Yeah, it's like if you're 6'8" or higher, you have
like a certain percentage of making the NBA. I
Yeah.
might have made that up.
Yeah,
But
it's okay.
No, I did. I heard it somewhere, but it's true. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about combat sports, wrestling, all these sports that have weight classes, because it gives the small man a chance.
Exactly.
But the solution to that.
Are you gonna say
No, we
midget
need that.
sports?
We need to have short person sports,
Short
right?
person
For the
sports?
short man.
So like
They
5
should have
feet
the
to
NBA.
5'5"?
Yeah, like just like weight classes. You have like a 5 foot to 5'4" category.
No way. That'd
We
be
could
cool.
do it. We could start it. Like,
I saw this reel on Instagram. It's this short person. I'll use the correct term, and he's throwing like
I don't know if short
pointers
person-
like this, and he's hitting 3-pointers. He'd kill that kind of league. He'd be pretty good.
do you remember a guy named Muggsy Bogues?
Yeah,
He was like
he was the exception.
he was like 5'4" or something, was he?
Yeah,
Playing in the NBA
yeah.
against guys that are 7 foot tall.
But like he probably worked hard and believed in his dream, and
For
he
sure.
made it. But like, he's
But
one
most
out of billions to
Yeah.
do that. Like,
Yeah, fuck
Billions.
other sports, man. That's why I never could watch like Ken, but like going to a hockey game to me and just watching these guys skate around in the ice.
no, you'd like it. I'd take you to a game. And
I
you'd
went
like
to
it.
one game, and the whole time I was just triggered that I was making, minimum wage
Yeah.
to wrestle, and
Yeah.
these guys are making like fucking millions. Like you said, the guys on the bench are making millions.
Yeah, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Entertainment's everything, man. Like,
Yeah, but I'm too jealous.
it's okay.
We quick story back in my Guelph days, we used to do like summer like our summer training. We had like a strength and conditioning coach, and he put us through like this crazy like track and field circuit, and we're wrestlers, so none of us can run. Like it's just a terrible scene. But we do like these track workouts, and then we'd finish with like a bunch of stadiums. And the one year we had these 3 hockey players working with us for the summer. They had the same strength and conditioning coach, and they were signed to the NHL, and it was like they were getting ready for their season, and these guys fucked the dog. We'd be doing sprints, and they would just be like walking up. They just did not take anything serious, and I was like, man, these guys are about to make millions of dollars, and they're just like fucking around. I mean, they were big dudes and stuff, but they were not working hard.
You probably didn't make millions though if they're fucking around.
I mean, they were signed. I don't know
Yeah, but
if they
like-
were signed, like what they were signed to.
A lot of guys are
Okay.
signed but play
Hundreds
American
of
League.
thousands.
No, they play American League. They make 50 grand. So
I
like,
thought you just said like if you're on the bench for NHL.
NFL.
Oh, not NHL.
So NFL, if you're on the practice team, because NFL brings in a lot of money,
Oh,
you'll
okay,
make like 6
okay.
digits. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. They were making a lot more money than us.
yeah, probably 100%. Wrestling's,
Yeah.
it's fun to watch for us, but small people look at it and like, wow, just sweaty men touching each other in the singlet.
It's a sport that like, it's so hard to. It's not like an entertaining sport to the casual person.
No,
right?
it's not. And
We
people
get like
feel-
excited. It's like, oh, what a nice foot sweep, but
Yeah.
really,
There's an awkwardness to it that like the
Yeah.
general people can't like associate to.
The minimum salary for NHL players is set at $750,000 US.
Yeah.
2022, 2023.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but like some guys
The
are.
minimum. That's just like to be on the team.
Just minimum to be on an NHL.
That's not like
Yeah.
a farm team. That's to be on the like signed
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
Because if they
Wow.
get farm team, they get 2-way contracts. So
Mhm.
basically, your 2-way contract is like if you're in the AHL, you're making 50 grand. You're in the NHL, you're making that 750.
Gotcha.
But then you'll get paid per game. So you might finish your year like with like 200 grand if you play like 10 games in the NHL.
Right.
NFL is actually lower. The base salary in the NFL is lower than.
Oh, so you're
Really?
wrong.
Yeah, but practice team. What is it at?
But they have a lot more players in the squad. They have 50
Yeah.
on each team.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, there's like 58 guys on the roster. Probably like, definitely not all of them play.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not playing, and you're getting paid like 6 digits.
And then they got coaches for every specific. Like you got just a
Kicking coach.
yeah,
special
just a guy that spends his whole life on the special teams.
Yeah.
Or just on the fucking yeah.
I mean,
We kind of have that in MMA, right? We got specific coaches.
coaching for Taekwondo, for karate, for everything.
You got mental coach, nutritionist, wrestling,
You got it all, man.
freestyle wrestling, Greco wrestling, collegiate wrestling. You need one for each.
By the end of it, you have $5 left from your fight.
Yeah.
You're paying
You pay
all
them
of
all out.
But that's the thing. Like when you're in those big leagues, you don't pay your coaches.
No.
They're paid already.
Yeah.
They're paid by the fans.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
pay our coaches.
No,
Like,
you guys definitely picked the worst sport in the world to
man,
make
it's
money.
terrible, but like, it's enjoyable. I wouldn't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah.
I'd play baseball. That baseball game we went to was fun.
Yeah, it
But
was
then
good.
you saw me hit at 3 a.m. and that was so bad. How much of a trip was that, eh?
That was a good time.
That
Can
was
we
a
pull up
pretty
an
good time.
image of the baseball
Oh, yeah.
excursion that we went on?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Good though.
It was a lot of fun. We
Yeah.
stormed the field. We went out after Don's fight, and
Yeah.
we had a little. We had a few pops and went out and hit a few baseballs at the field. It was a lot of fun.
It was nice. Prickett's a good hitter, man. We should probably get some clips on the podcast of
No.
him hitting.
Lyndon just took pictures.
No, he filmed you hitting.
No, he said he didn't.
I have it.
Send it.
Okay, I'll send it.
Next big one this weekend. You said Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
Sean
Ooh.
versus Aljo.
hmm
Sean's. Let me pull up Sean's road to the title.
Yeah,
I want
that's
you-
what everyone's
I want
shitting
you
on.
to do that.
He's won every fight except against Cheeto, right?
He's undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
He lost to Cheeto.
I mean, the big win was like Peter Yan, right? And that was
I
a
think he
split
lost that
decision.
fight.
It was close.
Let me read you guys this list, okay?
Um,
One fight in the top 10.
That's
yeah, but like think of Almeida.
No.
Almeida was a killer forever, and then O'Malley derail his hype.
yeah, but
Knock him out.
that's
Yeah.
a quick road to the title.
Not really.
Well,
But guys,
pull up Aljo's.
Yeah,
Dude,
but Aljo got starched
he beat
by
one guy in the top 10.
Peter Yan. He beat the former champ. What more do you
Barely.
need?
I'm just saying it was a quick rise to the top.
Stamen,
He got the treatment, the McGregor
Cody
treatment.
Stamen, Jimmy Rivera, Pedro Munoz, Corey Sanhagen, Piotr Yan, TJ Henry.
Yeah, but how many of those are title fights?
Last three.
Yeah.
So it beat Sanhagen.
So who wins this weekend?
I don't know, man. I think Aljo, but O'Malley could starch him.
What are the odds on the fight? He must be a pretty big underdog.
O'Malley's like plus 200, like plus 220, I think.
Mhm.
Aljo's minus 300.
I don't know. He's gonna have to clip him. I think it's gonna be one of those fights that it's gonna be close until it's not. Once he gets a hold of him, I don't see him being able to
Yeah.
handle the grappling. Like Aljo's a monster on the ground. I don't see him getting past that. And if he does, it's gonna be, if he's able to get out of the first round, I think it's gonna be one of those things. He's gonna get back
Mhm.
up, and his striking's gonna be heavily compromised because how fatigued he's gonna be. So
Yeah, he's pretty good at distance though, right?
Very
so,
good.
Like, it's tough to say. Like,
mhm.
I think it's way closer than what the odds are. If
Yeah.
Aljo can just get him down easy, then
Mhm.
it's a field day for him.
Yeah.
But if like O'Malley's making him work, then it's a
Mhm.
fight. So I think it's gonna come down to. And I told you, you know this. I can pick any fight after the first punch. I have a 100% success rate
Okay, on camera,
on camera.
$100.
$100.
Well, I need some odds. What am I gonna get?
I don't know. You're gonna give me $100.
Sean is plus 200 right now.
Plus 200. Okay, that's good.
Aljo's minus 250.
Yeah. But like the odds after the first punch, those odds go out the window. It's just even bad at that point because
How
you know
How
what's gonna
says
happen.
he can predict any fight 100% of the time after the first punch is thrown.
Yeah.
Then why are you not driving something nicer?
You don't like my little Nissan Juke, man? It's sport too. Like it's not that
It's
bad.
pretty nice.
It's pretty
not
good
that-
for a fighter.
You're humble because you
Yeah.
must be winning a lot of fights. You do you do the live betting?
I do live betting.
Yeah.
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 Does that work good for you?
It works better than not live betting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like when you've been in this game for a while, you understand fighting and
Mhm.
you can tell. But like
I definitely agree because I feel like a lot of times before a fight happens, I'm always like, fuck, I cannot see
mhm.
I don't know. I don't have any special spidey senses that like where even this fight, this Aljo, like I could flip flop back and forth in my own mind of how this fight could go. Can make a guess, but I wouldn't put a large amount of money either way. But once it starts, you're right. You can you can kind of see you can see how he's going to respond and if he's if he's comfortable on the feet. If Aljo's anything comfortable on the feet, it's going to be a terrible night. But if he goes out there and O'Malley's able to get his range and start getting some kicks off and keep it standing for a while, it could be a fucking tough night.
Yeah, because like I say 100%, but that's just me joking. For people that don't know me, I do exaggerate a lot. But like, it's all about problem solving, man. And like, if whoever is causing issues and whoever has a problem, if they can't solve that problem, they're in for a long night. So like, like it's all about who can solve whose problem at that point. And I think after round one, you'll know who's going to win for that fight. That's the kind of fight that you'll know. I
mean, it goes back to Don's fight, even Jazz's last fight. Like a lot of times for me, like after that first grappling exchange, you get a real good sense, right? Like against a wrestler, come from a wrestling background, like when you see someone go out there, like, and have that wrestling attack and they get it shut down early, that's a big like discouraging moment, like there's guys that just shoot just to shoot and create some chaos, but like someone like Rasta who went out there and tried to take Don down and got stuffed the very first one, a lot of times that equates to a really tough night. Same with Jazz's last fight when Miranda got in deep on the high crotch and she was working there and she wasn't able to take her down after that first one. My confidence went through the roof because I was like, if you can shut her down when she's fresh like that, off her first attack, there's a good chance that you're going to shut them all down.
It lets them know, man. It's like, you're not going to take me down.
Yeah. It's a big statement.
Yeah.
Right off the hop.
Yeah, I felt like that in my Cole Campbell fight. He's like, he shot first. It's one of the rare fights where I don't shoot first. But like, he shot first and like, I'm like, oh, you're not taking me down. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, once you feel them, like, wrestling's a weird one. Like, sometimes it's hard to see. Like, even watching fights, we watch a ton of fights and for matchup reasons and all this, and we'll watch them and D-Marks will be like, what's it, where do you put his wrestling? I'm like, man, it's tough to say. You got to feel it. Like sometimes guys don't look super slick, but they get in there and they get a hold of you and you're like, oh fuck, this guy's knows what he's doing. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things you have to feel. But when someone stuffs that first shot, it gives them huge confidence.
Speaking of shooting first, I was talking with Donnie while we were in Sioux Falls, and like he's like, I think he asked me like what Craco asked me at the weigh-ins because I was like getting kind of pissed and shit. Yeah. I told D-Marks to keep him away from me. Yeah. And I remember what he asked me, and he's like, "We'll see who shoots first."
Oh really?
He shot first. I dropped him with a jab, and he shot in on me.
He was playing some mind games with you, man.
Yeah.
But then it fucking backfired.
It did.
Craco, that guy was a tough dude, man. Your last two guys were tough as nails.
Yeah, like their records didn't do justice of how tough they are.
That's like an Xavier Nash situation. Like the record doesn't always tell the story, or someone like good, man. Or someone like Ashley who took a couple losses earlier in her career, but like man, records don't tell the story.
No, exactly. Like those, I consider them very good fighters. Like
very much.
If the stars need to align in fighting, man, you need to be at the right place at the right time, getting the right fights, and that will dictate your record and where you end up in the sport.
Absolutely.
And I think that they weren't very like lucky in those aspects of the fights they were getting, and like I know Ashley, like the gym she was at before, I don't think they put the same kind of effort in that you guys do to like because like having giving someone a career in the sport, it's hard work, man. It's not just working hard at the gym, it's everything around it, and you guys do a very good job at making sure that everything around it is going buddy. Well. No problem.
Like D-Marks coming from you look at D-Marks' record and you look at his skill set, that's clearly a guy, and then you look at his fights, like the guys that he fought over the course of his career, he didn't have someone, I'm not saying like cherry picking fights, but he didn't have someone looking out for him where his skill set was at compared to the guys he was getting matched up against. So, having him having that experience of a full career and learning those lessons the hard way, and I think it just makes him that much better of a coach and understanding how important matchups and how important getting the right fights at the right time, because just because you take a pro fight doesn't mean you're at the elite level yet. So you need to fight guys, build your way up, and I'm not saying take like easy fights, but take fights that are that match up fair to you.
Yeah, fights that make sense.
Yeah, someone that's like at the same level as you, and not someone who's got fucking 10 years of experience on you.
Yeah, or someone that's very good where you're very bad. It's like, at some point, like, I understand the concept, like, fight anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, but that's an athlete's mentality to have. That's your guy's job to think like that.
Yeah.
And that's our job to be like, okay, let's be smart about it and select the right fights. But
yeah, because I think I remember when I first got here, I was like sending you names to fight. I'm like, oh yeah, I'd beat this guy. I'd beat like any guy.
Yeah,
like I'd beat this guy, and you're like, okay, yeah, we'll see what else comes up. But like, just look at Kevin, man. Like, like even the first fight when he got here, I think you guys told him like after like a few years after, like, we weren't pretty stoked about it. But like,
no, not at all. But the fight was already made. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
But since he gave you guys like full control, like just look at him now, man.
And Jake too. Like again, having Jake on board and Ruby Sports, and man, it's a game changer for this gym. Like we wouldn't be where we're at without that guy. That's for sure.
It's a lot of work.
He's puts in a lot of work, and the thing I love about Jake is I said it to him on the weekend. I don't like giving him too many compliments, but he's just generally passionate about what he does, and it shows in his work, and he's not afraid to work with someone throughout their amateur career, throughout their pro career, and as well as at the top. He's not just trying to work with the guys at the top, and that's something I really admire about him, because I feel like that we're the same way, and that's how we started. We started with all amateurs for the most part, a couple pro fighters, but for the most part, the group of guys that we had were all amateurs. Like
they're all very
Cody,
raw
TJ,
too.
yeah, a lot of people. We started from the amateur career, so the fact that he's willing to do that and put the work in for the amateurs is cool. Yeah,
it's huge, man. It's great to have, and just seeing him, like, he's so passionate, and he cares about everyone he works with. Like, we're not just a number. Like,
he's definitely not.
They're not just a number for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like that's big, man.
And he's also not just trying to have like 100 guys on the roster. Like he wants to work with good people and people that share that same, love for the sport and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Shout out to Jake. Millions live streaming platform. They do all sorts of stuff. They sell merch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have merch on there soon, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Talking about a company that's willing to work with someone like us who's just getting started. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like, we're just getting started. We're trying this thing out. We're trying to build our gym and trying to build the brand of our fighters. Fighters like Powell, who's going to be at the big stage before long. 6-1, man, bright future, and they're willing to work with people like that and a gym like us and help support us and doing this whole thing. So, muchos gracias.
7-0, by the way.
7-0.
Yeah, not 6-1. If Sean O'Malley's undefeated, so am I.
Yeah, man. That's it, buddy. Thanks for coming on, Pow.
Thank you for having me.
Shout out to Don for backing out last minute, and shout out to Pow for jumping in.
He has got to go eat his whatever food he's eating, probably eggs and veggies again.
He's gonna have something.
Yeah.
But just to recap, man, fantastic weekend for the team, and this weekend we got coming up amateur fights. Danielle making her AMI debut. We got Colin back in there fighting for FCP, and then after that it just continues. We got a few matchups in the works right now. Just got a couple names for Papa Wick, Kevin Papa Wick, Jared Dumont, hopefully fighting soon. And then after that, we got Jazzy Moto.
We got Ashley, too.
We got Ashley on the 15th of September, Jazz on the 16th.
Big weekend. You and Kevin are going to go out for Ashley. Let's go.
Get her done.
Yeah.
And then Jelly, D-Marks, and myself will be out to Vegas.
Nice.
And then we get back to work. That's what we do.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, thanks millions. Thanks, Boise.